A very good morning, children. I hope you all are keeping fine, and you all must have done the revision worksheets also and would have found it very easy. Children, today I'm going to start with one of the literature chapters, and I'm sure all of you must be having the books with you. If you're not having the books, please get please get the books ASAP, okay? But otherwise, it will be difficult for you to learn it. So today I'm going to start with the literature chapter 3, that is this is a poem, children, The Pied Piper of Hamelin. So before starting the poem, I want to give you a little background about it. So this is a poem of a town called Hamelin. Hamelin is a town in Germany, okay? So the people of that town, they were fed up with rats, because wherever they could see only rats inside their houses, outside their houses, in their houses, inside the kitchen, inside the living room, in their wardrobes, inside the shoes, everywhere there were rats. Okay, so one fine day what happened, they decided to tell their problem to the mayor. They went to the mayor. The mayor is kind of a head of the town. Okay, so they went to the mayor and they told the mayor about the problem. They said that we wanted to get rid of this rats. Okay, so what did the mayor do? The mayor made an announcement. He said that the one who will make this city free of rats will be handsomely rewarded. Okay, so after making this announcement, what happened? One day a man entered the city. He was wearing a very colorful dress, and the striking feature was he was holding a pipe in his hand. Okay, the pipe that he used to blow, and from which beautiful musical notes come out. Okay, so he went to the mayor, he listened to the problem, and then he agreed to solve the problem. He said that I'll make this town free of rats. So the mayor said, okay, we will handsomely reward you, we'll give you a good amount for this. So the piper, he stepped onto the streets and he started blowing his pipe. A fine musical note came out of the pipe, a fine musical tune came out of the pipe. The moment he started blowing the pipe, what happened was, there was a sound, okay, big sound that people heard. And why this sound was, from where this sound was coming, all the rats in the city, they all came out from their hiding places. Okay, so they all came out and they started following the piper. Okay, so the piper was walking on the street. Slowly what happened, a huge army of rats could be seen behind him. Okay, they were blindly following the piper. So the piper started walking towards river Weser. You know how to the best way to kill a rat is put it into water. So this piper, he went towards a river and the rats also blindly followed him. The piper stepped into the river. The rats also did the same thing, and what happened? They all got drowned and they all were killed. So once the rats were killed, this piper, he came back. He went to the mayor. He said that, see, my job is done. Now I want my money. So the mayor said, yeah, you have done the job. So now the mayor was little reluctant in giving the amount. So what he did, he lessened the amount. Okay, if suppose previously he told him that I'll give you 100 rupees, so now he was saying that I'll give you only 10 rupees for your work. So he lessened the amount, and this annoyed the piper. The piper got angry. Obviously he would get angry. So what he did, he refused. He didn't take that money, whatever was offered to him, whatever reward was offered to him, he didn't take it. Instead, what he did was, he again stepped into the street, and this time he started blowing a different note, a musical note, a different tune. And the moment he started blowing the note, this time all the small children started following the piper. Okay, in the last time you saw all the rats following, this time all the small children started following the piper. The piper took them to a mountain. The children also went along with him. Their parents, they were running, they came behind running, shouting at the piper to stop blowing his pipe, but the piper did not do it. And what happened, when they reached the mountain, the door of there was a cave, big cave. Okay, so the door of the cave opened and the piper went inside the cave with all the children following him. All the children went inside. The moment the last child got into the cave, the door of the cave closed. So all the children went with the piper. So what happened? Now the parents could not do anything. They stood outside the cave regretting what they have done. Okay, so the moral of this poem is, children, if you have made a promise to someone, you should keep your promise. Okay, so this is the main theme of the poem. Sorry. Okay, second thing, children, whenever you read a poem, try to understand its rhyme scheme, the word that are rhyming. Okay, try to understand it. Okay, so this is a poem written by Robert Browning. I'll just read the poem for you. Into the street the piper stepped, smiling first a little smile, as if he knew what magic slept in his quiet pipe the while. Then, like a magical adept, to blow the pipe his lips he wrinkled, and green and blue his sharp eyes twinkled, like a candle flame where salt is sprinkled. And ere 3 shrill notes the pipe uttered, you heard as if an army muttered. And the muttering grew into grumbling, and the grumbling grew into mighty rumbling. And out of the house the rats came trembling, grey rats, small rats, lean rats, browny rats, brown rats, black rats, grey rats, tawny rats. So children, these are the kinds of the rats that came out of the house. Grey old toddlers, grey young friskers, fathers, mothers, uncles, cousins, cocking tails and pricking whiskers. Okay, so these are the kind that some were rats were mothers, some were fathers, the relations that the poet is showing here. Families by tens and dozens, brothers, sisters, husbands, wife followed the piper for their lives. From street to street he piped advancing, and step for step they followed dancing, until they came to the river Weser, where all plunged and perished. So this is the first part of the poem, where the piper is blowing the pipe and all the rats are following the piper. Ultimately they went to river Weser, where they perished, where they were drowned and they were dead. Okay, so here in this first part, children, you can find simile in the poem. Simile is when you compare two things, okay, and you use the word like or as. These are the words that you use. For example, I'll tell you, like a candle flame where, okay, and green and blue his sharp eyes twinkle, like a candle flame where salt is sprinkled. Okay, so the eyes of the piper was color of green and blue, and the color looked, when if suppose there is a candle flame and you sprinkle little salt in it, you get a green and blue flame. So same was the color of the eyes of the piper. So here you find a simile. You have used the word like. Okay, so whenever you read a poem, try to find out the different techniques that the poet has used in the poem. So this is the first part, children. Now the second part is when he goes and asks for his reward and is refused by the mayor. So now let's come to the second part. Once more he stepped into the street, and to his lips again laid his long pipe of smooth straight cane. And ere he blew 3 notes, such soft notes, as yet musicians cunning never gave the enraptured air. There was a rustling that seemed like a bustling of merry crowds justling at pitching and hustling. Okay, when the second note was played, we could hear many sounds of footsteps. Okay, there were clapping sounds, and there were just small voices and all. So these sounds were coming from the small children. The small children were making these sounds. Hustling, small feet were pattering, wooden shoes clattering. Okay, so they were wearing small shoes, and the small feet. Okay, so these are the different sounds. These words depicts different sounds. And like fowl in a farmyard where barley is scattering, out came the children running. Okay, here also there is a simile. Like fowls in the farmyards where barley is scattering, out came the children running in the farm, where you find the small hens and all coming out to eat this barley and all. So similarly, the children, they are all coming out of their houses, rushing. They are all coming out to follow the piper, okay, because they are mesmerized with the sound that the piper is playing in his pipe. And the little boys and girls with rosy cheeks and flaxen curls and sparkling eyes and teeth like pearls. These are all simile. Their teeth were very small, shiny, white teeth. They were looking like pearls. Children, you have seen pearls, white colored pearls. So they were looking like pearls. Tripping and skipping ran merrily after the wonderful music with shooting and laughter. They were all smiling. They were all very happy. They were all in a joyous mood. The children followed the piper into a cave and were never seen again. Okay. So they went into the cave and they were never seen. Okay. So sometimes the questions come, why the town of Hamelin was famous. It was famous not for rats. You will not write it. It was famous for rats. It was famous for the legend of Pied Piper. Legend means it was famous for the story of the Pied Piper. The people of the Hamelin were fed up with what? They were all fed up with rats. Okay, so children, in your assignment I have given you such questions. Try to answer those questions. The questions are very simple and easy, and I'm sure you'll be able to do it. But before that, go through the poem once. If you're not able to understand it, go through it twice. Try to write down all the difficult words and try to find out the word difficult words. Try to find out the meanings from the dictionary. Okay, and I have given you notes also. Going through the notes, this poem will become more easy for you. You will be able to understand it. And after going through the video, after going through the notes, then only do your assignment. Okay, and if you have any doubt, children, we have a doubt clearing session. So in that session, you can ask me. Okay, thank you.